What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Thor. His name is Shelty. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Loki. His name is Regulate. The map is competitive, mega, random. And this is a part of a MetaPlays show match put up by MetaPlays, for MetaPlays, and with MetaPlays for all your tournament desires. I would definitely recommend checking them out. They do Age of Mythology, they do Halo Wars, they do StarCraft, they do Age of Empires 4, they do Spellforge, they do all the different RTS games, and are a serious positive to the RTS community at large. So if you haven't checked them out and you're unaware, definitely go and say g'day. But we've got a game here for you guys. This is Shelty versus Regulate. For those of you who don't know Regulate is an old Age of Mythology, the Titans player, same to Shelty. Shelty, an expert, Regulate being in the top 10, if not higher than that, way back when, and is definitely a force to be reckoned with his Loki here. I'm not sure exactly what the rules were in this MetaPlay show match. I imagine it's MetaPlay's rules, so no repeat gods if you win with the god. So we'll see how things are going to go. But Regulate gets an incredibly good starting map here. Look at those boars. They're literally right next to the town center. I think the same too for Shelty over here, but this one not so much. He probably could have dragged it in if he tried hard enough here. But a fantastic starting map here for Regulate. We'll see what he's going to be able to do with it, because skipping these ox carts gives such an advantage to the Norse player who gets to skip them. But unfortunately, there's only the two boars here. So the question really will come, will Regulate have enough food out of his two boars to advance to the second age? Or will he have to make an ox cart, move over onto this? Or will he start eating the cows instead, and maybe get himself like early husbandry or something crazy, jump onto the cows while he's advancing to the classical age before he goes out onto the aurochs or something and have some sort of hyper accelerated early game. But it looks like he's just going to be playing it nice and safe, nice and slow, and just enjoying the economic advantage he gets in the classical age. Playing a standard kind of Hall of Thanes versus Loki play at this point is kind of what it looks like. If we take a look over at Shelty. Shelty also, he's got himself his second ox cart now. He's onto his second hunt over here. He's throwing his temple up in his main base, putting the wall segments around his starting tower as you are allowed. Now, to clarify, generally speaking, the rules are written in such a way that it says you're allowed 4 wall segments around your tower. What that means is normally it means that you get one wall segment on each side of the tower, which does allow a small gap for one unit to be attacking from the corners. If you put this wall here, you can't get in and attack the corners. So it's technically, I'm not sure if this is the way that MetaPlays means the rules to be used, but this type of tower here, I think that if you really want to protect it, you got to invest some actual buildings around it. And I'm not exactly sure, but my understanding of the rule is 1 wall per side of the tower. But it's fine. Rules are rules and whatever. We don't care. We're just here for the action. We'll see how the game's going to go. We've got ourselves over here. The monkey head summons 3 relic monkeys, which respawn in 60 seconds after all 3 have died. And we do have a relic down this side of the map, the Toothed Arrows, plus 5% Archer and Ballista and Kyro Ballista pierce damage, which ends up not really being that much of a help in the Norse war, because you very rarely get to Ballista in the game. It's just not something that happens very often, but we'll see how it's going to go. We've got Forseti, a delayed Forseti coming through for Shelty. I actually don't think that it's that bad of an idea to go just a little bit later to the classical age as Thor in this matchup. if you have a nice and defensive hunt, nice and far back, and you know what your opponent's doing in a way. Because the idea is that if you go a little bit later, you get more economy. You can actually, you can see this happening here for Shelty. He's able to buy his economic upgrades, which isn't something that you get to see all too often in the Norse mirror. Normally it's just go from the beginning, but he's not that far behind on population here. You can actually see he's got himself 3 Hersir out. Regulate's got himself 3 Hersir out as well, and the raiding cavalry, so it's just 1 unit behind at the moment. And he's going to continue to spam these units out and throw 2 longhouses down, have a stronger economy, be able to catch back up on that population very, very early. So Regulate needs to find an advantage here super quickly, and we're going to see him taking this advantage out on the sentry tower over here, which will open up this gold mine quite a bit to be harassed. So we'll see if Shelty's going to be able to come over here and defend this one in the near future or not, but he's trying to push in with his units, but I don't think he quite has the forces here. Now, he does have Healing Spring, so taking a slight bit of damage is not going to matter too much. Throwing a Healing Spring down here is going to be a perfectly reasonable way to play this. Shelty might want to throw down those wall segments around that tower now that he's got the chance, as Regulate's scouting around. If we take a quick look at Regulate's vision here, he doesn't know that the hunt's over here. He doesn't know where the resources are for Shelty just yet. Shelty is completely fine and safe and dandy over that bottom side with the deer here. He's even got some units over there, just defending that one out. And he's playing this early game very, very nicely. Lots of food in the bank, though, as he's going Hersir, throwing Axeman to start this off. A very standard build here. You want to go up to something like 8 villages on wood to support these 2 longhouses here, and maybe a little bit less on gold, unless you want to continue building dwarves, which I don't think you really do want to do with that much food here. I would have liked to see 7 on gold, and then villages on gatherers over onto wood here. Would have been a really, really nice way to play. And then later on, you can take those villages off of wood when you want to slow down on the throwing axeman spam and throw them over onto cows here for a very efficient classical age, mythic age kind of strategy. Classical age to mythic age kind of strategy. Macro-wise. Anyways, neither here nor there. As we can see, Regulate here. He's playing this one very standard. 9 dwarves on gold. He's going to start putting villagers or dwarves onto cows around about now. Get himself his husbandry. Very nice start here. So we do see the gate getting broken down over here. Is Shelty going to be moving in to try and find some sort of a fight as we see Hall of Thanes coming in? I do like the delayed Hall of Thanes. I don't think there's any reason to rush Hall of Thanes in nearly any matchup. I think getting more units out early is definitely the better way to play. But in this one, we're seeing that, well, Shelty here, Shelty's known for going for this kind of hunt here, even though he probably shouldn't. He's got plenty of cows, so he probably should stay in his main base, get huntsmanry, and just eat this until he's got enough units to push out. But he's known for being fairly aggressive here, and it looks like he's actually being a little bit more, what do you call it? A little bit more tame, a little bit more restrained here, just sitting on the berries there. Going to save those aurochs for a little bit later, as we do see the longhouse coming up there. Has some buildings on this location getting taken down by those medium raiders, as Regulate's population here is starting to look very similar to Shelty's. Those resources are a little bit behind at this point. He does have himself an extra upgrade or 2 here. I don't think he's got medium upgrades just yet, as the Hersir are going to be popping back. We do see the unit's going to be retreating back away from here. Not going to lose anything just yet. Still hasn't placed his healing spring down, I don't think. There's no healing spring just yet, as this wall here wants to get broken down to try and get in onto this gold mine now in the base of Shelty right now. He does have himself about 1,100 gold remaining, so it's plenty of gold here. He will be able to advance to the next stage fairly soon here. He's continuing to build these throwing axemen to hold on here on this fight, as units coming around here trying to defend. We do see a nice retreat back here from Shelty. He needs to be a little bit more careful with that troll there. Throwing that one away to a Hersir is not something he wants to do. He is pulling back now. Nice defense thus far. Scardy now has clicked up, so he will be able to start producing some more food-based units out of that temple while this is going on. While this is happening, though, the gate is about to fall here. Regulate sitting at 70 population, still not getting a myth unit spawn. There's the first one, as I say that. And Iron coming in is going to be a big deal, as Shelty going to pull back here, sit into his base. He can pull off this gold mine if he wants to, pull over onto this dwarven gold mine over here. The troll of Regulate will be causing some serious issues here for Shelty moving on, but the big thing that's going to happen is that Shelty's got 40 favor and 40 favor for Frost Giants to come in this game, as this temple is getting bashed down. It will be a really good move here for Regulate to take that down now, because it would stop the Frost Giant, and that's exactly what we're seeing happen here from Regulate. A beautiful play. Do we see a temple getting thrown down anywhere in the base of Shelty? No, we do not, as the temple is now getting closer and closer to falling, staying alive at 28 HP, and the Frost Giant barely comes out, but this does slow Shelty down right now, because Shelty wants to be building Frost Giants here, as Regulate has to pull back and rethink his game plan moving on in this game. As we do see the units pulling back, the temple will be coming down immediately. Shelty might just think, hey, he's pulling back, maybe I can just go Mythic Age here, but he does have to be concerned with a second gold mine here. And as I say that, we do see Shelty deciding time to go over to the gold over on this location, as we do see Regulate already moving over there. This could be a big mistake here for Shelty, as his units are going to get greeted by the blue swarm. That is the Loki army over here. We do see Shelty spotting the Regulate army there. It looks like Regulate not quite able to see that, as the army now moving forward here, going to take on these Regulate units. You do have to remember that Shelty's Hersa a little bit stronger now than Regulate's, as the Hersa over here just about to finish up that longhouse. They're going to be able to start targeting down these dwarves that are trying to move over onto that gold mine over there. As more houses coming up, those Frost Giants, much needed Frost Giants, about to be able to come out plentifully here. As look at the upgrades here for these players. As Regulate here a little bit behind. He does have himself pickaxe, but no hand axe here. It doesn't really matter, because he doesn't have that many villagers on the wood. Though as I say that right now, he's got 5 dwarves here for some reason. I do like the idea of just going full food units with Loki in this matchup. It's this longhouse going to get broken down relatively fast here, as Regulate says, yep, time to put some pressure on over here. He doesn't have any upgrades, neither does Shelty though, in terms of armor. So there's no real advantages where that's concerned, but Regulate's going to be able to hit the Heroic Age now moving on, as the Longhouse getting dropped. Still no market down for Shelty. Generally speaking, in the Thor versus Loki matchup, the aim of Thor is to get Mythic Age through Balder without losing too many villagers, and the aim of Loki is to prevent the Thor player from getting Mythic Age. As the units move out, the raiding cavalry sneak through. As this throwing action here, probably wanting to drop a wall down or something here if he's going to be fast enough. It looks like he's not quite going to be fast enough, as a Frost Giant coming over here. A Longhouse attempting to get thrown down. The throwing action just gets brutalized there, as a cheeky Frost Giant special coming through onto that location, as the Longhouse on the front getting targeted down. We will be seeing more units attempting to come through here. Rhyme going to be coming in now for Shelty, as Shelty's got plenty of hunt back here. He's going to be eating this one up for a very long time. Moving on, we will be seeing this Hersa getting taken down. The Longhouse getting cleaned up over here, as these Hersa push through, trying to take down the enemy Hersa over here, as the Heroic Age does come through. Got to be careful not to throw those Frost Giants away, though, against those Loki Hersa. They're very strong. We do see a Longhouse coming up onto this position over here. Imagine Forest Fire here, though. Obviously, Forseti was got a choice, as the Raiders push through onto this location, trying to hit this gold mine as best as they possibly can. Shelty with lots of resources in the bank now. Still no market set just yet, as a market now coming down for Regulators. Regulator's got tons of gold in the bank. I love that. He's going to be able to buy Mythic Age really soon here. The big question is, do you actually want to buy Mythic Age here in the position that Regulate's in, or do you want to grab town centers and throw buildings down everywhere to prepare for a Ragnarok? Those are your options in these situations, as the Frost Giants come forward, freeze the Battle Ball and the Troll here. Beautiful play where that's concerned, as Regulate trying to push through onto this location. A market now coming down for Shelty, but Fimbulwinter, the god of choice here for Regulate. A bit of a surprise here. Normally we see Hell most of the time in this situation, because the Nidhogg's so strong here, but we are seeing some good villager picks here from Regulate as he gets in onto this location. Units getting picked off over here. Regulate trying to spam out some units himself in this base here. Shelty here, he's got his market up now, I think, so he can sell some wood, buy some gold if he needs to, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing, and he will be clicking up through Balder most likely. There it is. So no crazy Fimbulwinter play here coming through for Shelty. He's got an advantage in this game. He's taken down the houses. It's going to be a difficult defense. We'll see how many villages the Fimbulwinter can pick off. The problem is these villages here, if I'm Shelty, I would just, as soon as the Fimbulwinter gets dropped, I would just walk this way with those villages. They will be completely safe. These villages over here, there's no reason for a Fimbulwinter wolf spawn on this location, but he can simply just walk forward with these units while he's waiting on his Ragnarok to hit. And while this is all going on, armory upgrades are coming through. Units are getting targeted down. Houses are getting killed off. This is looking very, very bad here for Regulate. We'll see how the defense is going to go and if this Fimbulwinter will change the landscape of this game moving forward as the units try and push through onto the back. The battle boar over here getting cleaned up again as Regulator is just losing units left, right, and center. He does decide to turn around over here as the Fimbulwinter does come through. Flaming weapons. Fimbulwinter coming in now for Regulate. So he will get a little bit of damage to come in as the Fimbulwinter wolves do come through. We do see the wolves coming in onto the dwarves over here. This is absolutely huge. 3 villager kills over here. 4 villagers coming through. The villagers are going to get chased down here brutally, but Regulate is running out of population. 100, well, he's got 100 population. Just doesn't have all of his units in here, I guess. As a mountain giant does pop through here, the raiding cavalry are going to take this down. We do see Regulate's Fimbulwinter wolves coming in onto this location, chasing the dwarves away. So many dead villagers on this location as Shelty is dropping down. He's 100 population, 28 villagers remaining here. But the question really is, does Shelty need to click Ragnarok straight away or not? Answer doesn't really matter because he does click it straight away and he's going to be able to start pushing out in this location here as fast as he possibly can. We'll see if Regulate's got any plans here to be able to defend this. Potentially sending his dwarves over to a quite crazy-like location over here would be a way to go. But it seems that Regulate will be deciding to tap out in this game as Shelty just plays that defense near perfection there in that game. Regulate just couldn't find his way in to get any serious amounts of damage done with his Loki, and then beyond that, Regulate also lost a lot of units, so he couldn't set up to try and defend against a Ragnarok. Now, I have seen Loki players defending Ragnaroks before. Oftentimes, it comes from things like a town center here, plus a Migdol to defend a gold mine over here with a ton of, or maybe two hill fort, 2 hill forts here, and a ton of throwing axemen to just defend, because in the end here, Shelty doesn't have much of an economy behind this, but yes, it doesn't look like Regulate can really defend here. And the other way you defend it is you just take all your villagers back, throw them onto random wood locations, and go full throwing axemen. But you have to be playing towards the fact that your opponent is going to be getting Ragnarok out. So you need to know that it's a possibility and be really playing towards that fact if you're on the Loki side of things. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.